Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about PCSing to Mobile, Alabama. If you don't know, I'm Tony with Living in Lower Alabama, and this is my partner Jess. Now, whether it's to the Coast Guard Aviation Training Center or the Army Corps of Engineers, we're going to share our experience and hopefully give you some good guidance and info to help you prep for your PCS. This is going to be a longer video, so make sure you watch till the end because we don't want you to miss what we've been asked the most when helping people relocate here.
That's right, we're going to talk about everything from weather, the base, housing, fun stuff to do, and everything in between that we think will be useful to y'all when moving. When we first came here years ago, when Tony was working the Army Corps, that was before we even had kids, and then we're back again now as a family, so we've lived it both ways and we've kind of experienced it all.
Yeah, when we first came here, I was stationed right in downtown Mobile with the Army Corps of Engineers. We had no idea what to expect, and you might be watching this video because you're in the same boat as us. So let's start off by talking a little bit about the weather here in Mobile. I'm gonna be honest, it's hot here. I'm talking hotter than a stolen tamale hot. And you need to know this because you may think you know hot, but here in Southern Alabama, it's a different type of hot.
Yeah, it's hotter than a billy goat with a blowtorch.
Hotter than a $2 pistol.
Hotter than a pepper sprout, okay y'all? You get it? It gets hot here. You can expect the temperatures to be anywhere from 80s to high 90s with a heat index in the hundreds during summer months. But it can start as early as April and last all the way till October. We have a very mild fall and winter. Our coldest month is usually gonna be about January, where it can get down to the 40s. Mobile is right on the Gulf of Mexico, and we have a mild subtropical climate that makes it very, very humid. We also get a lot of rain. Mobile is actually the rainiest city in the United States, and we see an average annual rainfall of about 67 inches every year.
We're currently experiencing the rainiest summer we've ever seen. The month of July into August, I swear it rained every single day. I can't tell you the last time I didn't go out without getting rained on, which means that I haven't golfed in forever.
Last week, honey.
Well,
spread out! It'll confuse him!
It feels like it's been forever, and it's definitely longer than last week. But it's all right because I need to practice. So if you're PCSing here or just moving in general, then I'd be happy to go golfing with you.
All right, well, I need the kitchen cabinets baby proofed and the smoke detectors, batteries need to be changed. So don't think you're gonna be going golfing with every single person that calls, okay?
Does anybody else's honey-do list seem to grow every single day like this one? Oh my God, happy wife, happy life.
No, it's happy spouse, happy house, right?
Well, it's a good thing they're calling for rain every day this week, so I can go back at it, I guess.
No, there's no end in sight with this rain.
On top of that, we're entering peak hurricane season, which is anywhere from like August through September, October-ish. So we're preparing ourselves for heavy rainfall and some intense winds.
Ah, that reminds me, you need to hang up the storm shutters.
See? Add it to the list.
Done. So Mobile is considered inland, and we mainly see torrential downpours and flooding. When the storms really do hit, we basically just hunker down inside. Schools, workplaces, businesses, they all shut down because the storms can and will cause power outages. And it's really just not safe to drive during these storms because of flash flooding, seriously dangerously strong winds, and fallen limbs and all that stuff. So you're better off just staying home.
Speaking of power outages and strong winds, if you can't see it or hear it behind us, it's right there.
It's a beautiful breeze today.
A lot of homes have generators here, which are awesome. But if you live in a subdivision or a street where every single house has one, then they're all using natural gas and they may run out. Just be prepared for that. We personally have a portable generator, and it gives enough power to keep our fridge running so we don't lose our food, and it keeps my beer cold. And I know that sounds pretty intense, but overall we love it here, and we're not fazed by that or the heat or the storms. And I'll take this beach going weather over those winter temps any day of the month, any day of the year.
I don't miss the snow, and here it rarely ever snows, and if it does, it's only a dusting that doesn't even accumulate.
But when we do get that once in a blue moon snow, expect schools to be canceled. Our work and businesses are completely closed for the day. It's honestly not even safe to drive unless you're from an area like Chicago or Green Bay or St. Paul, because we aren't prepared for freezing temps and definitely don't have salt trucks here. So plan to stay home if you're not used to ice, but again, it very rarely happens. What, maybe every once in 5, 6 years?
Yeah, so okay, so hopefully we didn't scare y'all away with our weather here. Let's move away from that and talk about the Coast Guard base. It's pretty small and it has a good bit of amenities minus housing, and they're building a brand new state-of-the-art aviation simulator that should be done within the next year, but you know how that goes.
So you'll have all your main buildings and offices, the airstrip of course. Medical can be found right there on base along with a regular gym and a really nice CrossFit gym. The exchange is conveniently right next to the base and carries everything you need, including a furniture store. And the advantage of the exchange obviously is that you don't pay taxes on it, so you can get some really good deals there. And the ATC has a pool for everyone to use too, so if you guys want to swim some laps, that's definitely a place to go.
Yeah, this pool has lifeguards and it's free to active duty. I believe guests can come along with you, but they just need to pay $2, so that's not bad at all. There's also Walters Park. This is where so many different events take place, like the Halloween trunk or treat, back to school events, the annual all hands picnic, movies in the park, and playgroups meet here basically every single week. There are picnic tables, and during the summer months it can get busy, so they do allow families to reserve those tables, so plan ahead if you can. Another perk is that you can bring in your own food, and I encourage you all to join the many Facebook pages for Coast Guard families. They're super helpful and full of great info for the Coast Guard community. They share information about literally everything from great parks, pediatricians, daycares, and events going on, so it's really nice.
Okay, so one huge thing we have to talk about is that there's no on-base housing here at Mobile ATC. You're responsible for finding something. Most coasties are purchasing homes. Rentals are super scarce right now, but not impossible, and especially if you're just looking for a small apartment. I heard the housing allowance is going to go up across the board, which should help because the price of everything is going up. But luckily, you can find a moderately priced family home in Mobile and the surrounding areas. We check in daily for rentals, and 9 times out of 10, we're helping coasties purchase instead because cost of living here is just too cheap, especially if you compare it to other areas like where we've been, like Great Lakes, Illinois, or New York. Property taxes there were about $13,000 a year, and here you're looking at about $1,000 or less per year.
Yeah, when it comes to places to live close to base, you've got some really great options. A lot of coasties live in West Mobile. This is a very desirable area because it's a short drive to base, and it's also close to shopping, the airports, and it has some pretty decent schools. Copeland Island is a very popular subdivision and even has the nickname Coastie Island because so many Coast Guard families live here. It's super convenient, and it's about, what, 20 minutes from base?
I'd say about 20 minutes,
really easy drive.
And you've also got Saraland, which is going to be about 25 to 30 minutes from base. But there you got top rated schools. So if you have kids that are in school, that might be a top pick for you. As far as affordability goes, you can easily find a house in either of those 2 towns I just mentioned for under $200K, and yearly property taxes there are under $1,000. So your housing allowance is definitely going to cover your mortgage, which can help you save a ton of money to get that boat you've always wanted.
Typical Tony, he's always trying to find a way to spend money fast.
Me?
Yes.
Don't get me started with you and blowing money fast.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, you've got other options for housing. A lot of people prefer to live across Mobile Bay on the eastern shore, like Spanish Fort and Daphne. Those are 2 really popular ones, but they're also about a 45-minute drive if, and this is a huge if there's no traffic on the Bayway. And we'll be honest with y'all about there's a 50-50 chance there will be a slowdown on the Bayway due to an accident or someone pulled over. Also, since we're being honest, we actually live in Fairhope, which is on the eastern shore, and we have a neighbor who actually hates his commute across the bay to ATC, so that's something to keep in mind, and we're just being honest with you guys.
But he loves Fairhope enough to drive back and forth across the bay.
That's true, and his wife actually told me though that he wishes they would have picked Spanish Fort or Daphne over Fairhope just to be a little bit closer. But okay, we're only going to talk about those few places to live in, and if you have any questions about any specific towns, reach out because we're happy to help.
Next, we're going to touch on childcare and popular schools. There are many preschool options. Public schools are nice depending on, the area that you're in. Some popular schools are all of the Saraland schools in general. Hutchins Elementary, Collier Elementary, Knollwood Christian Academy, or Faith Academy for that matter, which is another Christian school and actually right across the street from ATC.
So convenient.
There are plenty of daycares here too, but you may have to call around to find openings for them. We have personally used Christ United and had a great experience. I've also heard great things about Jubilee and Sem's First Baptist Church Daycare. So just to name a couple.
Yeah, and shopping is important, so let's talk about what you have to look forward to while being stationed at ATC. West Mobile is loaded with everything from grocery stores, restaurants, and every big box store along with the shopping mall. You can also cross the bay into Spanish Fort and find the Eastern Shore Shopping Center, which is an outdoor shopping mall. You can head across the bay over into Foley and check out the Tanger Outlet Mall. I always pronounce that wrong. This is my personal favorite place to shop though. Lately, I haven't been too impressed with the shops at Bel Air and the mall in Mobile, so I don't mind taking the trip across the bay over to Foley to the Tanger outlets. This particular outlet mall, it has it all, including a great outdoor park, a splash pad for the kids, a mini golf course, and then you also have downtown Mobile, which is home to some really nice independently owned boutiques if you're looking for something a little more high end or just a little more unique compared to what you can normally find at the mall or those big box stores.
Yeah, and when it comes to fun stuff to do, you'll have endless options everywhere you go. We'll be here all friggin' day if I try to cover everything, so I'll narrow it down for you. Some of our family favorites to do are, I'd say first and foremost, the Gulf Coast. So we love going to the beaches. Our favorite beach close to ATC is Dauphin Island. It's located a little less than an hour away. And this really is a low-key beach town. It's got this old beach town vibe with great seafood joints, and it just has that smaller Outer Banks feel. And there's no big resorts or huge hotels. There's less traffic there because tourists aren't flocking in, but there are some because it is a touristy town because it's close to the Gulf.
Yeah, our other favorite beach to visit is going to be Gulf Shores. This one is going to be about a 2-hour drive from ATC, and you might prefer to grab a hotel while you visit there, but it's totally worth it. It's literally your own slice of paradise. This beach town is going to be crawling with tourists who come from all over the country. You're going to have hundreds of hotels to choose from, including high-rise resorts right on the beach. Beaches come with amenities like showers and pavilions and bathrooms, restaurants. There's tons of excursions for the kids like jet skiing and dolphin tours and parasailing. So in terms of beaches, you're going to have a lot of different options depending on what your preferences are.
One other beach we have to mention is Fort Pickens over in Pensacola. This one is also going to be about a 2-hour drive from ATC, but this is where you can check out the Blue Angels. It's a pretty private beach with a nice pavilion, and parking is free for military, and it's awesome to be able to just pack up your cooler and spend the day on the beach. Being stationed here really has its perks. You can feel like you're on vacation every single weekend if you want to.
There's a lot of history here too if you're into that. There's plenty of cool spots to check out that are either free for military or offer huge discounts. Fort Morgan National Park is so cool. You can tour it, you can climb around the old fort that's still standing. There's also a dog-friendly beach there. There's a gift shop and just some really awesome views to check out.
And you, of course, have the USS Alabama. This is where you can tour the massive battleship, an aviation museum, and an actual submarine there. We typically spend a good 5 hours there. It's all self-guided, and the battleship alone can easily take a couple hours to walk through. Active duty are free, and kids 5 and under are free, and vets receive a discounted rate, so you have that. The grounds there have picnic tables and just tons of cool things to check out. And this is another place where you can pack up a cooler and have a lunch between tours, and trust me, you'll want to, because all of that walking will work up your appetite.
Yeah, and stay hydrated, because I feel like I'm always sweating walking through there. So living in Mobile is only 2 hours away from the Big Easy too, so day trips to New Orleans are a must. With or without the kids, you can easily hit up Bourbon Street or the aquariums or that amazing World War II museum. It's just nice to have that for a getaway. We actually just went on a swamp tour last weekend, so again, it's just nice to have something different to do once in a while and close to home.
But if you want to stay close to home, downtown Mobile is also a lot of fun. They've got an insanely good restaurant scene. If you're a foodie, you won't be disappointed. You got Noja, Dumbwaiter, Noble South, Cotton State Barbecue, The Royal Scam, Winsel's Oyster House. I mean, the list goes on and on. Get ready to eat a lot of good food. You can bar hop on Dauphin Street, which feels like a mini Bourbon Street, or you can check out the Loda Art Walk, which is held on Fridays, the first Friday of every month, I think. So if you just want to go and relax and take in some cool events, it's definitely a place to do it.
Let's not forget to mention that Mardi Gras is celebrated here in Mobile. It's basically looked at like a holiday here. The parades are the best part. You're going to have these amazing floats, and they toss out beads and moon pies and other goodies. And don't worry if you have children, because these are very family-friendly events. Everyone gets dressed up and drinks and eats king cakes, and it's just a special time of the year here, and definitely something you have to experience. If you really like going out and having a good time, then you'll have to check out a Mardi Gras ball. Many of these balls are members only though, where you're gonna need a personal invitation, so do some networking and meet some people. But there are some that sell tickets to the public. These are black tie events and they're just absolutely magical. Women wear these gorgeous ball gowns and everyone spends the night drinking and dancing, just hanging out at these like really, really fancy venues.
So that's a lot. There are endless fun things to do here in Mobile and the surrounding areas. We'll be here all night if we don't stop talking about them, but we hope you get the idea. This is not a boring place to live by any means.
Wait, there's one more thing I have to mention. Mobile has a Carnival cruise port, so if you want to take a long weekend cruise, you've got that right at your fingertips. They literally have ships sailing out every single week to the Caribbean and the Bahamas. It's just so awesome to have right at home. So if you live in Mobile, you can sail right on over to Grand Turk or Cozumel, and it's really convenient. So, okay, Tony's right. We could literally go on for days. I need to stop.
All right, to end the video, I'm just gonna say that we love living in Mobile. We now live across the bay on the eastern shore, and this is a great place to call home. This family-friendly place has warm weather all year round, plenty of things to do, great schools. It's definitely a 10 out of 10.
We came here knowing nobody, and we quickly were welcomed in by other military families as well as locals. It was hard because we didn't have a network at first and we had no idea what to expect, but today we are permanent residents here because we had such a great experience being stationed here, and we hope that y'all have a very positive experience during your time here as well.
So if you guys need any help, make sure you let us know.
Catch you guys on the next video.
See ya.